I will go ahead and share my screen. I have about 32 slides to go through. So we're going to, no, I'm just playing, guys. We don't have 32 slides. That would drive me crazy. I am not going to do death by PowerPoint today. I hope that we can be interactive. But I understand some people are like, this is my third one today. I'm just going to kind of sit back and listen, and that's fine too. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Most of you guys said you can hear me, so I will take that. All right. So y'all ready? Y'all ready to get into some time management, some reclaiming of time? All right. Hold on one sec. Let me share my screen. Normally I already have it up. All right. So you guys should be able to see here in just a second my screen. Let me go right here. All right. Okay, I see you. Everyone say, let's do it. All right. Everyone can see my screen. So I'm going to go ahead and move on. So my name is Melanie Rose. I am a kinesiology instructor. Hello, TCC Kinesiology, at the Trinity River campus. And I am, I love your picture, Jeanette. And I'm here to talk about reclaiming my time. So you may be wondering, wait a minute, why is a kinesiology instructor the one who talks about like body movement and like the science behind, human body movement? Why are we talking about time management? Well, you may think like, think about what we talk about in kinesiology. That's human movement. That's why people don't move. That's obesity. That's, these chronic illnesses. And a lot of the reasons why these chronic illnesses are here is because people are inactive. They're physically inactive, right? So a lot of the conversation I have with like my clients, my students, even my staff at like our business that we have is, why aren't you physically active? And the answer is, normally, I don't have enough time, Melanie. I don't have enough time in my schedule. So believe it or not, time management in the world of kinesiology is actually a common conversation. It is a hot topic in our world. So I'm going to share with you guys some of the things that I talk about with my clients, my students, and all that, but also things I've researched. I'm not going to just tell you what I think. I always got to back it up with research. All right. So let's move on to my next screen here. All right. So as we talk about reclaiming my time, the assumption is that you had time to claim, right? Like I had time, so somehow it's been gone. Someone took it, something took it, right? So reclaiming today is, I'm going to take it back, and this is how. But I got to figure out what made me lose it in the first place. So in the chat, okay, this is, a lot of us are faculty, so we understand how the chat works. So in the chat, I want you to. Janae, I understand. Janae said, I had time and then I had a baby. I feel you. Thankfully, my kids are not like babies anymore. My youngest is 5, and I'm like, thank good, and potty trained and all that. But so I want you to raise your hand, send a GIF, or give me a thumbs up or whatever emoji if any of these next statements seem appealing to you, okay? Because these things are benefits of reclaiming your time. So this is how you can, come out on top, right? So if this seems interesting to you, delivering top, oh, real quick, if you guys can mute your mics, that would be amazing. Sometimes there's feedback. So everyone, if you can mute your mic, that would be fantastic. All right, so if you are interested in delivering top-notch work, give me a clap, raise your hand in the chat, do something. There we go. I see you, Jill. All right. Yes, me too. Okay, you can raise it and lower it or whatever. All right. Next one. If you feel like being more productive and efficient is appealing to you, I want to see lots of thumbs up. I like to be more productive and efficient. Sometimes I'm like, where did the day go? I feel like I didn't do anything. Oh my goodness. If you would like to reduce your stress and stress-induced anxiety, raise that hand. This is where both my hands come up. Like, give it to me. So yes, I see a heart, Candace. Yes to stress reduction. I see you. All right. What about this one? Improved quality of relationships with family. Better sleep. You feel better. Oh, okay. I see. We have a standing ovation. Opportunities for career growth. Not just, a promotion at work, but maybe going back to school, maybe being asked to present at different events, and just building up on your intellectual wellness, right? Yes, those are all things that seem appealing to most of the people in the group. And last but not least, Time for leisure and recreation. Oh my God, like leisure means no pressure. Like if I want to go for a stroll, I can. If I want to go play pickleball, there's, whatever. What I do for leisure, which is really weird for some people, is logic problems. I love doing logic problems. It still makes my mind think, but it's about things that have no weight to them. So good. I see a lot of thumbs ups. These things are benefits of reclaiming your time. So if you are interested in any of these things, keep paying attention, right? um, so let me ask, yes, I agree. Reading is important. And being able to focus on reading though, right? Have you ever read a book or read a paragraph and you're like, I have no idea what I just read. You're like, oh my God, I can't even focus. That may be a sign that you're overworked, right? So if anybody wants to in the chat or unmute, well, let's pick one of these things in my presentation here. Why would this be a benefit to you? Tell me one thing. It could be improved quality of life, but why do you think this would be important to you? If anybody wants to go ahead and put in the chat or, okay. What stress reduction, that helps in all areas of life, doesn't it? Time for self-growth. Yes, our mind is constantly growing and we are all constantly experiencing new things. Balance. Yes, survive. Look at that, pure survival. I was asking my husband, he was like, when I went through this with him, and he said that he would like to, these seem super interesting. He wants to get more time and leisure because he wants to spend time with family. And isn't that something? Like we've been at home for months and we're still saying, man, I'd like to spend time with family. So that means that we may have some patterns and some habits that it doesn't matter where you are, what's going on in life. If we don't fix those patterns and those habits, you will still have you'll see these things keep coming up. So yes, I see you. I feel you with the stress eating. Oh, I feel you. Um, so, okay. Let's move on. Let's go. Yes, am I working hard or am I working smart? Right? These are, when I used to work in sales, that was like our biggest thing. Like, are you just making calls? Or are you going to plan ahead of time and then make quality calls? I don't like sales, but that's one of the things that we talked about a lot. Are you getting somewhere? That's this guy right here. He's working hard in this little wheel, but he's not going anywhere. Side note. Have any of you guys ever thought when you get on a treadmill, man, I don't like getting on a treadmill because I'm running to nowhere? Has anyone ever thought of, I'm walking to I'm not getting anywhere? It's like the first thing that we tell people in kinesiology or as a trainer, yeah, just go start walking. And it's like, oh, that doesn't, So, I think it is, Candace, DuckTales. So we're going to talk about working smart. If you're going to work hard, at least do it smart. All right. So notice my picture just fell. It all starts with the foundation. You have to have a solid, stable foundation. You guys are killing me in this chat. There's the question to yourself. Is my foundation stable or is it unstable? And so let me give you an example. If I said, hey guys, look, we're going to go on this trip. I want you to come with me. And this is the Airbnb that you see. Would you be like, how would you feel? I'm like, y'all, this is it. We're going to have a party. It's going to be, 30 people in this house. Would y'all feel safe on a house full on top of tires? That foundation is, someone said, nope. The foundation matters, right? What about this? If I said, I got this really cool exercise for you. I want you to get on a spilly ball. I want you to get a bar. Then I want you to put some plates on that bar. And then I'm going to hold you up and then I'm going to step away and I want you to do some squats. This is what I see people do at the gym sometimes too. And I just look at them. So foundation is important. It's important. So, so one of the things that I say in kinesiology, as a health professional is whenever to working out, if I have a client that comes to me, I don't just say, okay, you want to work out with me? Great. Go run 10 miles. Or great, lift this 100-pound weight. That's setting them up for failure, right? We don't want that. We want them to be successful. So what I do is always work on foundation. It has to be stable. Before we do all the tricks and all the fun stuff, it must be stable. And you may be wondering, is this a health presentation or what? Well, first of all, time management does affect your health. That's one. But you can take the principles of even just building a house, that the foundation is important. So one of the things that we do, well, how I can tell if I need to work on foundation with my clients is I say, hey, if you could rate yourself, what do you think? Where do you think you are with exercise or your physical activity? And they always say, "Oh, I think I'm great. I maybe I'm an 8 out of 10." And I'm like, "Really? 8 out of 10? How do you know?" And they say, "Well, I don't know. I go to the gym." That doesn't mean anything, right? Or if I say, "Hey, if you could rate yourself on how you eat, like how what do you think your nutrition's like?" "Oh, yeah, it's great. I eat salads every day." Like it salads don't mean that you're eating healthy, right? So what we do is we always do a checkpoint. We always do a fitness exam or fitness assessment. It tells you where you are. If you guys are in math or in science, or some of you guys teach that, you know that 1 + 1 = 2, right? I can't make 1 + 1 = 4. I have to add 3 to it. 1 + 1 will always equal 2. So when I meet with my clients, I always say,
watching the student or looking at the data.
Can y'all hear me?
Yay!
What odds? Like, what? All right. So, sorry. See, this is why having a phone is good. Okay, hold on. Let me pull up PowerPoint. Thank y'all so much for waiting. I don't even know where I ended. All right, hold on. Let me pull this up real quick. That's crazy. I was actually going to talk about technology glitches. All right. So let me.
Just take a deep breath and regroup.
Right. I was talking, it literally went blue. I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? All right, let me pull this up. And then, all right, so, yeah, thank y'all so much for waiting, because that was, all right. It was updating my virus protection. So that's what it says. I appreciate that. Okay. It was recording that whole time? Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, goodness. Okay, it's pulling up slowly. The whole computer has to wake up. Okay. All right, hopefully you guys got some water or something like that. Let me close this down. Let's see. Ugh. Thank you. So I'm not by myself. Okay, thank you. She said it happened to her yesterday. So there we go. It's not just me. Isn't that the worst? All right, so hopefully this thing will pull up and it's taking its sweet time right now. So okay, let me go to where I was. All right, so let me pull you guys back up. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Y'all, I really appreciate you guys staying on. Hold on. It's everything's going slow now. Okay. Can you see my screen now? It says my foundation, stable or unstable. Can y'all see that?
Yep.
All right. We are back in business, everybody. Okay. So, all right, I just kind of told you guys everything. So, I said we start with a fitness test. It lets you know where you are, right? So it basically, once I know where people are, then I can create a plan for them. But we must first start with a foundation. If you guys don't know, I actually box. I do boxing and Muay Thai. So actually tonight I'm starting my a boxing camp to sharpen up my skills a little bit. And who knows, maybe when we get there, the trainer's going to say, you just gotta work on kicks today, or you're just gonna work on footwork. And I'm like, really? I want to go and spar. And they'd be like, no, you need to work on the basics, because if not, if I go into sparring and I get knocked out, what's the point, right? So here's what we're gonna do. You're going to, you're going to check in on your time management, right? I'm going to take what I've used for my fitness assessments, and you're going to assess yourself. This is not to be like, oh my God, I can't believe you have all these issues. It's not like that. It's for you to check in with your foundation, okay? It's habitual. We're talking about habits that we have. So if these statements apply to you, you're going to give yourself a point. So I would write down on a piece of paper or something how many points you have. It's from 0 to 10. Got it? Okay. So number 1, is this you? Do you find yourself always saying, oh my God, I'm so sorry I'm late. I know I'm just, oh my gosh, I don't know what happened. The time just, if that's you, give yourself a point. It's funny, that's me. I'm the one, it's weird. Like before I could say, hey, it was traffic. That's why I'm late. But why am I still late to online meetings? Why is it when I see a meeting starts at 2, I still show up at 2:05? It's a habit that I have. I feel like, oh, I can show up late. I don't want to be the first to the party. I don't know why that is. So if you're that person, give yourself a point. All right. If you are also one that's like, I got to rush through everything I got to do. I got to finish it quick. You want to get everything done in one day, even if if you get a headache from it, if you're like crazy wired, give yourself a point. Is anyone else like this? Is it just me? am I just kind of disclosing all my own issues? So yes, give yourself a point if you are Speedy Gonzalez. All right. Next one. Okay. if you are the person that's like, you're realizing, man, the quality of my work is starting to slip. I literally looked at one of the presentations that I had to put out for something else, and I was like, man, I missed a whole sentence, like a whole sentence. Like, how did that slip? So if you are that person that's noticing that your work is starting to be affected, then give yourself a point. Okay. Again, there are 10 of these. All right. And I'm going to go over all these again at the end. So don't worry if you missed any. All right. If you are that person that's like, happy belated birthday, I'm so sorry I missed it. And you knew their birthday was January 12th. Like, you knew it. You just somehow you forgot it and you're reaching out to them 3 days later. This also applies to work. If you said to a student, I'll get back to you on Friday, and now it's next Tuesday, and you're like, oh my God, I did say I was going to get back to him next Friday. Or if you had to turn in your grades by December 18th and you're like, it's December 21st, I totally forgot. You're starting to be forgetful on certain things. Go ahead and give yourself a point. Again, we're just putting the mirror in our faces. Okay. A lot of us have these same things. All right. Let's keep it going. Let's keep the party moving. So if you are that person, it doesn't matter what it is. I'll do it tomorrow. It could be something that could be done in 5 minutes today. And you're like, yeah, well, I'm going to do it tomorrow though. Like, I'll do it next week. It's a habit of yours. Constant procrastinator. Perhaps you should put a point down. All right. Okay. Are y'all still with me? I feel like I'm running through these fast, but I want to make sure y'all are still with me. Maybe you're diligently writing notes. I just want to make sure y'all are still with me. Let me check in. Okay. Next one. If you are like, oh my God, there's a butterfly. Oh my God. Oh, wait, there's a notification. I don't know what I'm going to eat today. Oh, like, it's hot. Let me turn on the fan. Oh, I need some water. I need to drink more water. Like, you're literally all over the place. Perhaps. Jill, am I in your front yard? And I'm knocking at your door. Yes, that must mean you're easily distracted. And perhaps you need to give yourself a point. All right. Notice how there are oranges and there's one that's not on the plate. What do y'all think this means? It means your plate is full. Have you ever said this to yourself? You know what? That's it. My plate is too full. I'm taking things off my plate. I'm going to get myself together. And you start taking things off. And the next moment you get someone's like, hey, can you do this? You're like, oh, sure. And you put something back on your plate. You're like, it's a habit. It's a habit. You feel like you need to always be booked. And I'm not a therapist, so I can't tell you why you feel that way, but it's a habit. It's just, I'm that way. I feel like I need to always have something on my plate. Have you ever been like, look, I have too many tabs open, too many tabs. I'm gonna knock two birds out with one stone. That's all fine and good on a small scale, right? You are not a professional juggler. we are not, we're not an octopus. You don't have 8 arms. So like, can you imagine if you had a spouse or whoever lives with you and they juggle when they go to the bathroom. They juggle when they come out the bathroom. They're juggling when they walk down the hall. They juggle when they sit down. They juggle when they eat. They juggle in the bed. And you're like, could you stop? Could you stop juggling? Because I'm going crazy looking at you juggle. That's literally what your brain is saying. Could you just stop for a second? But the jugglers, even professional jugglers, they don't do it all day. They stop after a couple minutes. So, but for some reason we feel like we should. All right. So those are I'm going to go over the 8 again. I know I like that, Hannah. So these are what I just kind of went over. Punctuality, constant rushing, decreased quality of work, frequently missed deadlines, procrastination, easily distracted, overextension, that means your plate's full, multitasking, jugglers, okay, I see an octopus, Angela. Number 9, I didn't put this on there, unhealthy habits. If you're like, well, I'm at home, I haven't taken a shower in 3 days. Maybe I should go work out. I don't know if I will. It's been 5 months since I've worked out. Like, those are things that tend to slip, right? And a lot of times it's from this stuff right here. A lot of these are interconnected, all right? So Brianna's like, no, that's not it. That's not me. And the next one is burnout. The semester is about to start and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired of this. You signed up to work, this is what you love doing, and now you don't anymore, you're possibly burnt out. And it could be because of this. It doesn't mean that you don't like the students, you don't like your coworkers, you don't, it's a different dynamic. So, right, Hannah? But you know, it's funny. I had to check myself. Hannah said burnout starting the year is not good. I had to check myself. So I own a business. We have a family business. We have a nonprofit. And so over the holidays, we've been busy. And so the first week of January, I was like, oh my God, like I don't even know if I have, I don't know. Like the students and this and that. And I said, well, hold on. I never took a break. Like I tell my students to take breaks. I tell my clients to take breaks. I never took a break. That's why, and I took a whole break last week and I feel good, as you can probably tell today. So, but this is why a lot of times you are not managing your time. These signs right here, whoops, let me go back. These signs right here are signs that you may have poor time management. Who wants to share their number in the chat? This is not to share you, like to point you out or be like, oh my God, but like to show that you're not alone. Did anyone have, okay, it's all right. It's okay. 10 out of 10. You're not the only one. 8 out of 10. There we go. It's okay. Here's the thing. Did anyone get a 0? That means none of these. Maybe you're taking notes for someone else. Maybe you're in denial. No, I'm just I don't know. Okay, I see 6s, 4s. It's okay to come to reality because once you know where the cracks are in your foundation, then you can start to work on it, right? That's the whole point of this whole exercise. Let me figure out where the cracks are in my foundation. And then I can go and look up, webinars on punctuality or webinars on healthy habits or something like that. Like, right? I can't talk about all that today, but that's for you to do. Acknowledge your habits. So that's good. It's okay. And whoever had 10 out of 10, now you can start wherever you want now. So look at it that way. I have plenty of opportunities for growth. Flip that thing. So, all right, let's talk about then what does it mean? There we go. Always a silver lining. What does it mean to manage your time or time management? So based on the Cambridge Dictionary, it says it's the practice. Notice I bolded it and italicized it. It's important. It's a practice of using the time you have in a useful and effective way, especially for work. Useful and effective. But the main thing is practice. So what works for me may not work for you, may not work for the next person, but it takes practice. So like you have to also think about your energy levels, not just throughout the day, but throughout the week. Some people get their boost of energy on Wednesdays. Some people, they start off Mondays, but then by Friday, don't reach out. Don't, some people don't talk to me on Monday, don't talk to me on Tuesday. It just depends on your energy level, but it's practice. It takes practice. When we go into some of these management tips I'm gonna give you, it takes practice. So for example, I used to run track. I don't know if anyone else was a track athlete in school, but you can think about it in whatever sport or activity that you did. Maybe you played an instrument or something. There's no way, Janae, there's no way that me as a sprinter could go out and just run the 400. The 400 is one time around the lap. Or one lap around the track. Do you know, if you've ever looked at track, there's a certain method to running around that curve, then running the straight. There's a whole other method to running the second curve and then running the straight. There's a beginning and an end. You break that thing down, but it takes practice, right? Practice. Yeah. I did the 4x1, I did the 4x2, and the way I ran the 100 is different than where I ran the 200. There's a different strategy, and that's what you have to think about as we talk about time management. There's probably a strategy for work, as there's a strategy for home, but it takes practice. So anyway, let's look at this. What does managing time mean? Hello, plot twist. You can't manage time. I can't, it's 2:45 right now. I can't say, hey, you know what? No. We lost time with my computer dropped. So we're going to go back, about 10 minutes. I can't do that. What I can do is I can shift my energy to increase productivity. I had another little part here where I was going to have us interact. Can't do it. I lost some time. So I'm going to make the most of the time that I have now. So it's about the energy that you use with the time that you have, not manipulating the time. That's what really time management is. So here's my question to you. Do you believe that you have time, or sorry, enough time to do the things that you deem necessary? So that's a yes or no answer, right? So if the answer is no, why or why not? If the answer is yes, why or why not? This could be more rhetorical. I ask this to my clients and my students when they're like, "Oh, I don't have enough time to work out." I said, "Well, what do you have time to do in the day? What do you find most important?" And they realize that they just have the plates too full, or they don't know how to manage what's in the day, right? It's too much stuff, and they go crazy. So it's a matter of figuring out, one, what are my patterns? That's what we just talked about, some of your habits. Two, what are the time wasters? Okay. What is taking up my time? So here we go. What has my attention? That's part two. Why do I not focus? What is it? I'm going to ask you guys to tell me what you think it is. What's the number one waster? Do you think it is social media? Do you think it is email checking? Or do you think it is too robust of a to-do list? So number one, is it social media? Is it checking email, or is it like just too robust of you have like 15 things on your to-do list? So I see emails, I see social media, emails get in the way of making a to-do list. All right. Number three, Bedford, Carter, you said it was the robust to-do list. All right. I will answer your question right here. Most of y'all got it. Number one is email. Checking email is the number one time waster. We check email 36 times per hour. Did y'all know that? 36 times. It was funny when I saw this stat, I was like, well, hold on. I don't check 36 times per hour. That's once every other minute. I don't do that. But then I had to think about it. I'm like, I was only considering my TCC email. Let me ask you guys, do y'all have more than one email address? Do y'all have more than, do you only have TCC as your email addresses? Do you have more than one email, or really TCC has two, right? So what kind of emails, Janae, me too. What kind of emails come through? What messages come through your emails? Do you get like, you have two for TCC and yourself, you have two. You get junk mail. Do y'all ever get like newsletters? Do you get shopping emails? Oh, it tells you too, by the end of the day, you got to do it now. Do it by noon. You get your bills, lets you know if you're late. And I'm always like, delete. Fundraising stuff, right? There's a lot of things that come to your emails. Guys, I have 8 emails, 2 for TCC. That's one for the students. You guys have that. And then you have the other one that's for everything else. I have 2, so that makes 4 for my family business. One's for registrations because we own a CPR and first aid business. The other one is for everything else, like business supplies. I have 2 more for our nonprofit. That's for one of them's for our if people want like inquiries about what we do, and the other one's more business. So one's social media wise and one's business. I have one for my fitness business. So if people want to train with me, all of my certifications, all of my associations I'm part of, and all their newsletters. And then my last one is everything else. Like if I get emails from my students, teachers, like, shopping stuff, Starbucks, all that, bills, they all come to that. That's 8 emails on my phone. And they have notifications, humorous notifications. Like, that's a lot that goes on. So, yes, I was like, wow, I guess I do probably get soaked into that stuff. I don't know if I do it 36 times, but that's average. Number 2, not at automating social media accounts. So not that it's social media in itself is not bad. It's not, I teach, like, it's not, I'm going to say something else, but it's not that it's bad. It's what we do with it. How many of you guys ever heard of this thing called Hootsuite? Hootsuite. Hootsuite. And that's like an owl on it. Have you ever heard of that? Hootsuite. Basically, it houses all of your social media. So if you're the one that's going, I'm going to go to Facebook, then I'm going to get out. I'm going to go to Twitter, I'm going to get out. I'm going to go to Instagram, then I get out. Then you just go to, that wastes time. I'm going to post on all of them too. That wastes time. So during your breaks, if you have something called Hootsuite, you can like make one post and it goes to multiple places, or you can look at everything in one place. So because we spend about 2 hours on just social media, like switching between the two. There's all of them. One way to, by the way, if you want to not check email or not check your social media often, sign out. How many of you guys would be deterred if you had to log in every time? I know I would. If I was like, oh man, I gotta sign in, and what's my password? Oh nah, forget it. Nope, I'm not doing it. do it. Go ahead and clear all your cookies on your computer and see how productive you become. That happened to me on accident. My husband was on my laptop and cleared my cookies, and I was like, "What did you do?" He's like, "I didn't. What do you mean?" So, all right, bulky to-do list. 3 to 4 items is what is suggested, but we end up doing like 4 to 5, 15. Y'all, if you want to do 8 hours in a day, maybe do 3 to 4 main things you want to focus on based on your bigger things. But we tend to do way more. How many things do you think on average that people put on their to-do list? Do you think they do like 10? What number do you think of items on their to-do list for one day that people put on average? Do you think it's 10, 15, 4 items? What do you think? 15? A page full? Yep. Janae got it. It's about 8 to 10. 8 to 10 items. And so if that's average, that means there's people that are doing more, right? That's a lot of things in one day. That's a lot. So yes, that takes me to my next step, which is multitasking. Multitasking wastes time. Now I know that was one of our cracks in our foundation, right? Here's the thing. It's the energy that we use to switch from one thing to the other thing. Yes, you can knock 2 birds out with 1 stone. That's great. But can you do it on a regular basis consistently and be productive and, want to produce, A quality work? That's where the problem comes in. Do y'all know that it takes you 23 minutes and 15 seconds to focus? That's not a secret. You can type it in. How long does it take to focus? 23 minutes and 15 seconds. So if you are a multitasker, then you're the one that is having to give like only a 80% or 70% of your brain capacity. 23, that's 25 minutes it takes for you to focus on something. So it's better to do one thing at a time and in chunks. So FYI, 23 minutes, 15 seconds. All right. So speaking of Janae, the overachiever, as they're calling you, we also have the perfectionist. That is a time waster. I call it doing the most. That's me too. Janae, I'm with you. When the last year after spring break, when they told us that we are going to be virtual, I was like, I'm teaching a self-defense class. Like, what am I going to do? It's like, so the way I teach my self-defense in person, the first part of it is more about theory. We learn a little bit. And then the second part is all physical. How am I going to do the rest of it? Man, I was on every webinar, every YouTube channel, every website, I was wasting time. Before you knew it, it's like a day before the semester or before the classes started, and I had nothing planned because I was trying to over prepare. So sometimes it's better if you can just give B quality work if you need to get through, right? So that's a time waster. Unnecessary meetings. Who can agree with me on this? That is a time waster, if not efficient. There are 25 million meetings held daily in the US. Daily. That's a lot of meetings. So and especially if you are a person that is chronically late, or if you have somebody that's chronically late. So you have a meeting that you want for 30 minutes. Someone shows up 10 minutes later, and then they ask a question that's already been answered. And you're over here like, oh my, we already answered that. That just extends the time. So if you can, the rule of thumb is this. If you're able to answer the question, ask one person a question and get it out the way. Don't have a meeting. Just call the person. Hey, can I talk to you real quick? All right. Jason Wooten's on this call. I've done that with him. Hey, Jason, do you have a minute? And I'll just ask him instead of like, can we have a big meeting about it? It just knocks it out. I know, Candace. I know. We have even more meetings. Yeah. So, okay. Last one I'm going to say, which is a time waster. This is the wasteland, guys, is saying yes. If you're that person that is always having too much on your plate, if you say yes a lot, then you're overcommitting. And then you find yourself stressed out or burned out and all that other stuff. So that's a time waster. Yes, okay, I'll do it. Okay, yeah, don't worry, I got it. No, it's okay. I'm a firm believer of saying no, or not right now. That's okay. I'll do it later. Then that makes me a procrastinator sometimes too. So this is the wasteland. Emails, not automating social media. You can see all the rest. So, but then you may say, well, Melanie, but hold on. Why now? Why now? Because before all this COVID stuff, I kind of had a handle on my stuff. I wasn't on social media like this. I wasn't checking my emails all the time. I was like, why? What happened? So these are some unique gateways since we've been on our look, Jason. Thank you, Jason. um, since we've been on COVID quarantine, that's what I was trying to say. Since we've been in quarantine, these are some of the gateways to the wasteland. All right, that we didn't have before. All right, so if you can relate, let me know in the chat. Okay, has anyone been here? This is a child and a parent, or this is actually my friend posted this on social media. A whole cat on your laptop. These are things that were not a problem before, right? Like family, friends, pets, roommates, people inside the house. Like it's not, this is a gateway to this. When the cat's on there, let me just check my social media real quick. Let me just check my email from my phone. And you get sucked away. Yep. Definitely, yes, those children don't know. They don't know. What about this one? Non-work related activities. You're like, oh, okay, well, I'm home. Let me go ahead and just do the dishes, or let me fold the laundry. I'm sorry, I'm not a laundry person. I don't like doing laundry. So, I thought that before too. Well, I'm here. Let me do the laundry. I don't like it when I wasn't here. I don't like it when I'm here. So it's a gateway to doing getting back into the wasteland because you don't want to do it anyway. So, oh, Janae, yes, I've had my 5-year-old walk in as I was like, I had to hold him like this while I was doing a lecture. So I understand. But yes, non-work related activities can those are gateways to the wasteland. Horizontal cleaning, yes. Lack of a schedule. So it says here, irregular work schedules can lead to extra stress and greater family work conflict. That's a real thing. Like I remember having to drive to work, drive to campus. You have the hustle and bustle of these students. When I was at Northeast, they had the dance program, so I heard music up and down the halls. I mean, I was motivated. I was productive. I had other faculty there with me and staff there with me. Well, now it's like, well, I mean, I don't have to do synchronous classes. I don't have to do anything. I could literally just put myself on Blackboard and say, good luck, students. Now, that's not going to be a good experience for them, but I could do it, right? Then I'm less productive. Husband work. Oh, yes. Me and my husband have to be far away. He's upstairs. I'm downstairs. I can't. All right. Y'all, this happened. This literally happened to me today. Technological hangups. That's something that even though you may have had it on campus, it wasn't a big deal. Like me in the area that I'm in, I'm not on the computer a lot. Like when I was in kinesiology, I'm moving around. I'm not in front of a laptop so now it's like I could be in the middle of a lecture and look at this. This makes me want to punch a hole in the wall. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God. But go back to your foundation. Are you the kind that's always late? That's me. So if I'm always late, then I probably will have this issue, right? When I turn on my laptop or whatever. So if I get on there early enough, then I can have me a backup plan. So these are some of those unique gateways to the wasteland that expose some of your cracks in your foundation. So, okay, all right. So let's move on, right? What can I do now, Mel? Like, what can I do? Most people call me Mel. That's why I said that. You can do that too. What are some effective strategies to get my time back? There's all these time wasters. Well, let's figure out what we should do and what we shouldn't do. And you can take a picture of this or look at this later, whatever. But if it's important and it's urgent, do it now. Some of you guys said you had kids at the house, right? If your child who is important, breaks an arm, stop the lecture. It's time to go to the hospital, right? Like that's what's important. If your child who is important, we love them, says, I want to go to the park, that's not urgent. We can plan to do this later. Put it on your list of to do, just do that later. So that's how you kind of deem what you should and shouldn't do, what takes precedent. If it's not important, but it's urgent, normally that's somebody else's urgency. It's trivial. It's just reject it. Like, I don't have time right now. This is my 8 hours. So I'm going to devote to work. I can't do that right now. So you reject it. If it's not important and it's not urgent, resist it. That's the stuff that you love to do. Like someone sends you a message on something on Facebook or something that comes in through your email. It's just do it later. Like just, I know it's hard. You want to look at that sale if you're someone who shops later. So this is kind of your guide because we all have the same amount of hours in a week, the same amount of hours in a day, but it's about our choices that we make. I could sleep all day if I wanted to. I could work all day if I wanted to. Different results will come from that. So there you go. Hey guys, are you guys still with me? Because I have one more slide. Are y'all still with me? Are y'all? It looks like you are, but I want to make sure I'm not losing anybody. So if you're with me, say, all right. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Awesome. All right. So then let's talk about some tips for virtual productivity. There's a lot of tips. You can look online and see there's like hundreds of tips. So I'm going to knock this down to 5. Okay. Because we just don't have time for all that. Number 1 is take care of yourself. Make yourself the number 1 priority. Here's like a self-care bingo. It's funny because you can look at it and be like, oh my God, fed myself. That's funny. Haha. No. Has anyone ever been in a situation where, wow, it's 3 o'clock and I haven't eaten since 9? I haven't eaten anything all day. Because you've been moving around. That happens. It happens. Oh my, have you ever sat around and just did nothing? Put that on your to-do list. That's called a self-care bingo. You can look it up and do it yourself. But these are important. That helps you. So part of self-care is sleeping. Did you know that there's a direct link between sleep deprivation, so insomnia, and impaired cognitive function? Did you know that? You should shoot to sleep 6 to 8 hours a day. Now, if you need sleep tips, look it up. Just look it up on here. I don't have time, unfortunately, to talk about ways to get good sleep. One thing that I do though is use the sleep masks and blackout curtains. So that helps me. So that may help you too. And I need a fan. I don't care how cold it is. Put the fan on me. So, all right, another one. Exercise. You should be getting 150 minutes of moderate physical activity or exercise a day. I'm sorry. Well, no, a week. Not a day. I mean, you can a day if you want to. So a German study found that fitness is associated with better brain functioning. So what they did was they had 1,200 brain scans of people who were average about 30 years old. And they had them do an exercise. And well, not all of them. Some of them did exercise, some of them didn't. And the ones who did the exercise, when they did the little test, the cognitive test, they passed it and with flying colors compared to the other ones who didn't. So it just helps you with keeping your mind sharp, with being clarity of thought and all that. So exercise, like I just told you, I went for a walk before I did this, got some fresh air and all that. So nutrition, energy, natural energy. Keep healthy snacks around you. Please don't keep a bag of chips. Please don't keep M&Ms at the desk. It's easy, but instead think about like fruit, which is good for energy, and fiber, good for blood sugar stabilization. Think about that. It's up, Michelle. I think it's up at the top. Jeanette put it up, but I can also do it at the end too. She was asking where the eval was. Recreation. We talked about that. Time for recreation. Schedule that. Put that in. That's part of your self-care. That's part of, I don't care. I want to bake today. I want to, do a crossword puzzle. I want to go out and swim. Whatever that thing is, it's important for you to relieve your stress. So there you go. That's number 1. Please take care of yourself. Please take care of yourself so that you can do all the other things that you like to do. Number 2, keep the boundaries. Maybe for you, it's take the apps off of your phone. Like anything that has to do with school or work, take it off. Maybe that'll help you. Maybe turn the notifications off. Clearly communicate with your family and your friends what you need for you to be successful. Like my kids know, they get home at 3:15. I give them a hug. I take about 10 to 15 minutes or 30, maybe sometimes 30, but they know upstairs until about 6:30 or until 6, whatever. They know the drill, but I've communicated that with them. Also, my email says at the bottom, when they email me, I will respond within 24 hours, Monday through Friday. Weekends, don't lower your expectations on weekends. So then they know I have resources for them on Blackboard. They can go and refer to that before they reach. Because here's the thing: before I had that in my email, when I would get a email on my on Saturdays or something, I would freak out because I feel like I needed to respond back. It's like, no, that helps me with my productivity as well, my time management. I'm not responding on the weekends. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Also, be firm, but have grace. Like, this is all new to us, right? So, not just for your students, but for yourself. Like, yes, you have a schedule, and yes, you put it out there. And yes, maybe some students didn't read it all, you know? So sometimes there might be a little saying things more than you used to say when we were in person. Also, due dates. I had to do this last semester, and you might have as well. I have my due dates on Sundays. They all know every week, whatever it's due on Sundays by 11:59. For me, that helps me because on Mondays or Tuesdays, when they say, "Oh, I totally forgot, I had no idea," and it's week 13 out of 16, my question to you is, how did you not know? It's every week. It's due on Sunday. You have Monday through Friday to turn it in. What happened? But that helps me for keeping myself accountable and for them. So I'm not, oh, it's due on Thursday, due on Tuesday, due Sundays by 11:59. However, if I'm running behind on grading or whatever, I will sometimes, if there's a quiz or something that's, it's coming up this week, or I will push it back. And they'll say, thank you. That's good for them, but it's for my sanity. Like, you know what? I'm running behind. And so that I can clear my plate a little bit, we're going to push this back to next week. That's flexibility for myself. And I also tell my students, hey, you know how this pandemic is happening and it's affecting you guys. I'll tell them it's affecting me too. So, please make sure that we give each other grace. But that started at the beginning of the semester, so they understand not to have all these high expectations, beyond what they would want for themselves, right? So anyway, that's keeping that boundary. I also tell them, only email me at this email address. Don't email me at all these other ones. All right, set aside chunks of time. Ask yourself, why am I doing this? And if you can't answer it, then stop doing it and figure out why you're doing it. I'm not talking about making a schedule from 9 to 10, I'm going to do this. From 10 to 11, I'm going to do this. Think about the blocks. These are the 3 things based on my priorities I want to do today, the 4 things. And I'm going to set the time to 2 hours for each of these things, or an hour and a half for 2 of these things. Now, when you put those blocks in, it's up to you, depending on what happens throughout the day. So maybe you put in for one of your blocks 30 minutes of exercise or an hour of exercise. Well, you do 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes at night. You've got that block taken care of, right? Maybe you decide one of those blocks is going to be for breaks. So you have like 3 breaks throughout the day. Well, you may switch those slots out throughout the day, depending on the day. And it's okay. That helps take the pressure off the schedule, right? Some people that may work, some people it may not. Just try it out. And you can identify your priorities for the day based on your bigger goal, which is your SMART goal. I have a whole lecture on SMART goals. I don't want to go into that, but if you don't know SMART goals, look them up. Those are super important, especially for procrastinators. I think it's 2 more, last 2. Find the time wasters, emails, social media, being a perfectionist, all that, and eliminate them. Get rid of them. And then find those cracks in your foundation. Figure out, how can I seal up these cracks? There's a lot of apps, guys. I can actually put this in the chat, or I can put it in afterwards. But this website right here has like 20 different apps, extensions, websites that will help keep you focused. So have y'all ever heard of this one? It's the Forest app. It's amazing. I like it. Some people, it stresses them out, but I like it. Basically, you set your time in the app. Mine is always set to 45 minutes so that I have a 15-minute break. 45 minutes. And for me, it kind of stops all of my notifications, everything on my phone. And if I can continue with what I'm doing without doing anything on my phone, a tree is created. I know. And then, what's funny? It's interesting, to Hannah's point, when you don't finish, you have a withered tree. And for me, when I go back and look over my day, I get to see the points where my tree was most withered, or my trees were withered, and I adjust my day based off that moving forward. I say, maybe grading on Mondays is not my best thing, right? Maybe I should do my grading on Wednesdays, because I can't focus during that time. So anyway, you may find that this is good for you, but there's a lot of different things that you can find on this app. Another one is avoid TV and household items. Just try to focus on what you're there to do. until you take your breaks. And last but not least, identify your limitations, and then embrace your gifts and resources. Like if you're not the most technically savvy person, don't tell your students, oh, if you have a question about, IT, get at me. I'm not. I tell them from the front, there's a whole help desk. You guys go there. Don't come to me for that. I will help you with your health and wellness, and I'll help you with the lecture or with whatever this class is about, right? Please don't come to me for IT stuff. That's not my skill set, but maybe for you, you can help them. Oh, thank you, Hannah. Okay. Then another resources at home. Maybe you don't have the best video or a camera. That's okay. Use what you have. So a lot of times we focus on what we don't have and like what other people are doing and all that. Use what they have, and then maybe figure out what pieces you can use for yourself, right? For what based on your own strengths. So anyway, that's about it, guys. That's it. So hopefully you can take just these 5 tips for virtual productivity. Again, go back to the foundation, figure out where you can seal up some of those cracks, right? Look at the time wasters, which ones are the biggest ones for you. Find out where those gateways are. Is it when I'm doing stuff at the house, when my kids are around or whatever, and figure out how you can readjust this thing called life in the virtual setting, right? Because the purpose is not to just live your life, but to put the life back in your years. You want to live a full life, not just work, right? So in those 8 hours, work and then be done with it. So anyway, all right, guys. Well, that's it. We have 3 minutes to spare, but I appreciate you guys for being interactive with me. Was it helpful? Were you guys, did you take a tip or two? Yes, I can go back to the time wasters for sure. I do a YouTube channel. I have a dance one. I have a dance YouTube channel. All right, good. Well, guys, thank you so much. Jeanette put in there I don't know if Jeanette's still here, but she put in the evaluation. If you guys could do the evaluation, that would be amazing. And I hope you guys have a fantastic semester. And that's about it. Okay, wait. So someone asked about if you need to get off, that's fine. But oh, you want to see my dance video? I'll put it in there too. Someone did ask about the other things. Okay, guys. Well, that's it. Have a good one. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Oh, the evaluation. It's right there, Hannah. I think it's right above you. I think Jeanette put it right above you. Okay. Oh, thank you, Hannah. It's right there. Okay, so someone wanted the time wasters. There you go. Those are the time wasters. Bye, Joyce.